And welcome to Rusty's Sudoku stream. I am Rusty. We've got puzzle number 829 in the 1000 Easy Sudoku Puzzles collection to solve. We get to 8:30 in both easy and medium tomorrow. And if you're wondering why I'm not doing much as far as entering, finding the mouse cursor, mouse pointer, can be interesting at times. All right. Usual type of a delay. We are at an hour after scheduled start time, so I get to wait. Well, looks like 70 seconds. All right. And this is good, so when we get to 1 minute, 10 seconds, I will be able to start solving. Meanwhile, I do have a chat window open. So if you've got questions or suggestions, that's a great place to hit me up. Yeah, around 11 o'clock, I decided, no, I need to go get some rest. I went up to bed and promptly slept until 12:45. So came down, used the facilities, got the stream started. And we got 5 more seconds. And there we go. So we get a 1 up here. One of these two is going to be a 2. One of these 3 is going to be a 3, but more useful is one of these 2 is going to be a 3. Got a lot of clues with 4. Other than this one can't be a 4, so it's going to be one of these 3. But doesn't narrow it down enough over here, etc. 5, so we get a 5 here. 2 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. 7 right there, but I still haven't populated 6s yet. 6s, I've got 4 or 3 possibilities there. Not a lot of control or reference here. And 3 possibilities here. 7s, we've already populated out. 8s, one of these 2 is going to be an 8. And one of these 2 is going to be an 8. Finally, 9s. I've got 2 possibilities for a 9 here. And a 9 already in here as well. Now what the rest of these? Got a 1 here, here. This one's going to be a 1. 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. 2s. We've got a 2 here. 2 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. 3s. Well, clue I've got up here is those 2 are possibly a 3. These 5 are possibly a 3. 3 possibilities there. 4 possibilities there. And 6 possibilities here. All right. 4s. 5 possibilities here. 5 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. 4 possibilities up here. All right, 5s. Got a 5 here, a 5 here. This gets to be a 5. I've got 3 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here. 6. One of these 2 is going to be a 6. That makes one of these 2 a 6. 5 possibilities there, 3 possibilities here. 7s. One of those 2 is a 7. Got one there already. Over here, this is going to be a 7, so one of these 2 is a 7. This can't be a 7, so that makes that a 7. And one of these 2 gets to be a 7. 8. Got an 8 here. 8 here. One of these 2 here will be an 8. 8 here. So one of these 2 is an 8. That leaves 2 possibilities for an 8 there. So far, 5 possibilities for an 8 here, 4 up here. Actually, 2 up here. One of these 2 is an 8. And with one of these 2 being an 8, that means I've got 2 possibilities for an 8 here. They mesh up with the 1s. All right, 9s. So this is blocked from being a 9, 2 different ways. I've got a pair here, so that makes this a 9. One of these 2 is a 9. Got 3 possibilities there. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. All right, down here, besides the 8, 6 over here and the 9s here, one of these 2 9s also has the possibility of being a 3. That makes this one a 3. And since I've got a matched pair there, this becomes a 3. The missing number here is a 4, so that's not a 4, that is. And over here, the missing number now is a 2. 9 3s down here. One of these 2 is a 2, which we already have marked. Got a 2 here. These 2 is a 2. I've got 4 possibilities here. All right. 1, 8 here. Okay. That can't be a 3, so one of these two is a 3. But 2 possibilities for a 1 there. Four possibilities for a 2. 2 for a 3. Unfortunately, all 5 match up nicely for a 4. Four possibilities for a 5. Four possibilities for a 6. 7 here. One of these two is an 8. And I've got 3 possibilities for a 9. Alright, 1. There are possibilities for 2. 3. This one says there can't be a 4, but that doesn't help me as much as I'd like. I've got 4 possibilities for a 4 here. 2 possibilities for a 5. And not a lot of help on the 6s, a 7. One of these two is an 8. And we're on to the next one. 1 and 2 in the square. One of these 3 is a 3. Oh, nope, one of these 2 is a 3. Alright. So, one of these 2 is a 4. This can't be, oh, we got a 5 here. So what we're left with here is a 6 going in here. Makes that a 9, that's a 4. Alright. So 8s and 3s here. One of these two is going to be a 3. 1, 2. One of those two is a 3. I've got 2 possibilities for a 4. There's a 5. One of these two is a 5. Got a 6 here. And another one blocking here. So 2 possibilities for a 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, 1s, 2s. 3 is going to be one of these 3. 4 will be one of these 5. 6, I've got these 3. 7, one of these 2. 8 is one of these 2. And 9 is going to be one of these 3. Maybe we can do more with 1s or stuff here. Well, 1s is going to be one of these 2. 2 is going to be one of these 2. 3. It's not going to be this one, but I've got all 6 of these as possibles for 3. One of these 3 is a 4. This one becomes a 5. I have to see if that comes back to help us somewhere. I think it does. I think it means one of these 2 is a 5. No, that one's a 5. It helps here, though. One of these 2 is a 5. So that can't be a 6. So that's a 6, and that's an 8. All right. We were looking at 7s. believe I've got the 2 earmarked for that. Got an 8 here. And one of these 3 is going to be a 9. All right. Ones. One of these 2. So 1. 1 is an 8. 2s. These 4 can't be a 2. That leaves us with 4 possibilities here. These 2 for a 3. All 5 of these have the potential of a 4. One of these 2 is a 5. 6 is going to be one of these 4. 7 is here. One of these 2 is an 8. One of these 3 is a 9. All right, time to flood everything else in. So we got 1, 2, 3. One of these 3 is a 4. Not this one. So one of these 2 is a 4. One of them's an 8. We got one of these 2 for a 5. One of these 2 is a 6, which means this is a 5. Which means that's a 4. That's not a 5. That's not a 4. Doesn't help me much with a 6 and a 3 yet. However, what do we know? So 1, 2. These 2 is a 3. 4. What I'm missing is the 5 here. That makes this a 6 and this a 3. That means this is not a 5, but we already knew that. 6, 2, 8, 4 there. Okay. Continue on with the flood fills. We got a 1, 2 here. That 3 blocks these, and the fact that I don't have one here blocks that. That makes this a 3, this a 9. All right, that makes this a 9. And one of these is going to be a 3. We're flood filling those, so let's go ahead and fill them in. 4 is going to be one of these 2. 5 is up here. 6 is going to be one of these 2 here. But it can't be this one. 7 is going to be one of these 2. 8 is going to be one of these 2. And we've already got a 9 here. All right, here we've got 1s, 2s. One of these 3 is going to be a 3. One of these 4 or 3 is going to be a 4. We've got a 5 and a 6 here. So one of these 2 is going to be a 7, earmarked. Got an 8 here. And one of these 2 is going to be a 9. This no longer gets to be a 5, so that's a 5. We have 1s here. 3 possibilities for a 2. 2 possibilities for a 3. 4 possibilities for a 4. We've got a 5 here. 3 possibilities for a 6. 7 here. A whole bunch of possibilities for an 8. Oh no, we've got 2 possibilities blocked in for the 8. And that means we've got 2 possibilities for the 9, or correction, 1 possibility for a 9. Now we've got 2 3s here. Oh, 6 here. Check that. 1 and 8, so yes, 6 here, not a 6 here, not a 6 here, 4 here, not a 4 here or here. Not a 4 here, that's a 3, a 1 here, not a 9 there, that's a 9, not a 3 here or here, not a 6 here, not a 3 here, or, well, not a 1 here, so that's an 8, that's a 1, not a 1 here, not an 8 there, that's an 8. Looks like I've got a 3 and a 6 here. That makes this a 2 and a 3 here. That makes this a 4, a 2 here, 4 here, 7 here. Up here we get a 4 and an 8, a 6 and a 2, a 8 and a 6, and over here we get a 7 to solve the puzzle. 19 minutes and 57 seconds. Not as bad as it could have been. I want to say thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll be posting 2 puzzles for Tuesday, and we will come back and solve them tomorrow night. Have a good night, everyone.